people are watching a few races very closely. So you've got the gubernatorial race in New Jersey, the gubernatorial race in Virginia, Mamdani, the mayoral race in New York, and Prop 50 in California. So my first question is, why do you think we're watching this stuff so closely? Is this like a pre-run? How's it going to go for the midterms? Or which messages are motivating swing voters? Or how did turnout go? Like, is this a test run? What is this? Why are people so focused on this?
If you look at what's happening, so you have Mamdani in New York, who's a straight up socialist at best. He might even be worse than the socialist. Some of the things he's talked about in the past are pushing the boundaries of Marxism. Like literally, it's the most extreme form of socialism. And by the way, socialism has never worked. And for some reason, New York wants to try this experiment. And the only thing I can possibly think of, Jillian, is that the left sees Trump. They see someone who got the other side crazy. Like Trump was so good for conservatives and the left hated him so much. What could they do to the right that Trump did to the left and put up a socialist? I mean, I'm old enough to remember when you were accused of a socialist in politics, you were finished forever. Now they've got AOC and Bernie and Kathy Hochul supporting the socialists. I mean, listen, I live in Florida. I can't wait till it happens. I know it's going to happen. There's no question in my mind. Mamdani is going to be next mayor of New York. And I can't wait to see the parade of New Yorkers coming down here, buying homes, buying stuff. I hate it. I can't stand when I see a New York license plate down here. I lived there for 30 years. I know what they are. But it's going to be a rude awakening for New York. The question is, again, this night at Halloween Horror Nights last night may have changed my view. They may be right. They may be, because remember, elections, right? We're in a democracy. So I believe we should have conservative values. I believe we should, have smaller government. I should keep more of my own money. I think I believe in sovereign borders. But if they're the majority, they got the vote, and we are bound by our Constitution, which says if they got the vote, they make the policy. And I'm just wondering, is this could be an inflection point in America where we move towards a more socialist country, the way the continent of Europe has done for the last 10 years. Now, I don't think it's working for them, but they don't seem to be pushing back on it. I mean, they opened their borders up. Remember when Germany took a million people coming over from Syria?
Yep.
And how did it work out? Women were being raped.
Yep.
40, 50 times as often as before this influx of 1 million not even illegals, migrants came over from Syria. I don't think the experiment is working yet. For some reason, the world seems to be going in that way. I think Trump came in and we took a pause. We took a 4-year pause this time, not the first time. This time, can we or they keep it up? Not without a Trump. I'm afraid to say not without a Trump, but I don't see anyone in the wings that can hold the party together, hold this part of the country together the way Trump can. And don't forget, a lot of the folks who are saying what I'm saying are in their 50s, in their 60s, in their 70s. We and they are dying off. And the younger crowd, again, the university system and the high school and the education system, academia is so progressively liberal.
Yep.
Socialism is probably embraced in the vast majority of our colleges. And they've been fed this, they're growing up. And now, before they were thrust into a world where socialism didn't work, now they're being thrust in a world where mayors of the biggest cities in the country are saying, don't worry, don't work, we'll take care of it. Go to the grocery store, you don't have to pay for that.
Right.
We'll find a way. I may be, Jillian, you and I may be dinosaurs a little quicker than we had expected.
I was about to pull up a clip of Bill Maher saying everything you just said, but I realize now it's a waste of time because you're right. It's me, it's you, it's Bill Maher. We're the ones that have lived long enough to know how this plays out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I'm going to actually jump to the debate between Sliwa, Cuomo, and Mamdani, because I want to address those policies because, like everyone claims Islamophobia. That's our number one issue with Mamdani is we're all Islamophobic. Maybe that's not it. Maybe we're concerned about how his policies are going to play out. And Cuomo said this, and I thought, if this isn't black and white, I don't know what is. Take a look at this.
But to answer your question, you cannot. Zoran said the tenant doesn't have to pay more rent, but we're going to cover the landlord's costs. No, you can't do both. And that's not what happened. We did freeze the rent with de Blasio. We lost units because the landlords took them off the market because you weren't covering their costs. The reason the Rent Guidelines Board went up after the freeze was because you had to make up for all the backlog of costs. And this, I'm going to freeze the rent. And people think it applies to all of them. No, just the 25% of units that are rent stabilized. And by the way, it's all BS because the mayor doesn't have the power to do it anyway. The Rent Guidelines Board does, and he doesn't control the Rent Guidelines Board. So nothing is going to happen. It's all this is. You have never had a job. You've never accomplished anything. There's no reason to believe you have any merit or qualification for 8.5 million lives. You don't know how to run a government. You don't know how to handle an emergency. And you've literally never proposed a bill on anything that you're now talking about in your campaign. You had the worst attendance record in the assembly. And you gave yourselves the highest raise in the United States of America. You went from $110,000 to $140,000, and then you never showed up for work and you missed 80% of the votes. Shame on you. Shame on you.
Okay, let me just reiterate the things that spoke to me. Number one, we tried some of this stuff before. Didn't work. Number two, you're full of it because you don't have the power to do this anyway. I was taking Fast and Furious notes. Number three, you didn't show up 80% of the time to do your job, homie. Number four, you're anti-capitalist, but you gave yourself what, like a 25% raise? I didn't do the math on it. Which tells me the kid is full of shit, Eric. That's what I'm taking away from it. And if I could say one more thing, we all remember New York in the 70s, or I was born in the late 70s, but my point is I know all about it, right? We watched Giuliani clean up that mess. I know all about it, and none of it worked. And they did all of this free transit, and we're freezing rent. But what's going to make this worse is that capital is now mobile. Rich people couldn't leave in the 70s because you can't work remotely in 1978. Now, all those rich people, as you mentioned, are going your way. So I don't know how you're going to fund any of this stuff with tax dollars that you're not only not going to get in a windfall, you're going to lose in a windfall. Like, the feasibility of this is absurd. Can you speak to that, please?
Sure. 27%. Raise. That's what they.
Is that the number? Okay.
27. Yeah. Very close. Good job.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
that was not shocking. What's shocking is hearing Andrew Cuomo talk like a conservative.
I know.
Really shocking. But it should be an indication of what you would get. You would get the new version of Andrew Cuomo, I would hope. I'd hope he would be the Andrew Cuomo that he was on the campaign trail. My problem is, it didn't matter. Mamdani was smiling the whole way because he's got this thing locked up. He's up like 16 points. Curtis Sliwa should have dropped out by now. He's not dropping out for whatever dumbass reason he's got. Yeah, Curtis, you're not going to win. Okay, so how about you help New York achieve the lesser of two evils? Like a liberal former governor who's got a questionable past, or an outright socialist who might be a Marxist on top of you don't even know. Curtis is doing this for personal reasons. It's ridiculous. He should at least give Cuomo a shot, but he's not going to do it. Cuomo wouldn't have won anyway. This is Mamdani's time. The left has told us. AOC, Bernie, the influentials on the left could have pushed back on Mamdani and made the New York race more competitive, but they embraced him. They're basically telling you that they're embracing this. They're buying what he's selling, and that means they're going to be selling what he's selling on the federal level, whether it's from the House, the Senate, or even higher office. God forbid if we get a Democrat president down the road. The scary part is, again, we're becoming the minority, and the rules of the game say the minority can vote, but the majority has the gavel, has the ability to really pass the laws.